Good morning, Year 3. Yesterday we were finding a part of a set. We were finding a fraction of a number. Here are your answers to yesterday's work. Please pause the video and check your answers carefully. Today we're going to recap what we've learned over the past 2 days. Make sure you got some sort of counters or coloring pencils to help you. If you don't have them with you, pause the video and go and get them, please. We're going to start by solving this problem. How can we find 1/5 of 10? I'm going to ask you to pause the video and use your coloring pencils and counters to show me how you worked it out. Okay, now I'm going to show you what I've done. I know that my whole is 10, so I'm going to count 10 pencils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this is going to be my whole, 10. And if I look at the fraction, it says that I need to find 1/5. That means that I need to divide my 10 into 5 equal groups. So I'm going to divide them into 5 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, let me move it a bit to the side, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I've divided my 10 pencils into 5 equal groups. What is 1/5 of 10? I can clearly see here, and by looking at the fraction, that I only need to count one part out of 5. So if I only count one part out of the 2, 3, 4, 5 parts that I've got, I can say that 1/5 of 10 is 2. Now, can you draw a bar model to show me 1/5 of 10? Please pause the video and show me your answer by using a bar model. Okay, let's check. So, I know that my whole is 10. I'm going to draw a bar model, and I need to divide it into how many equal parts? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, probably here more or less, 5. 5 equal parts. Now, how many items, or what is my number, what is my whole? 10. So I know that all of these equals 10 is my whole. Now, I need to divide 10. Let's talk about pencils because I was using pencils. 10 pencils into how many equal parts? 5. Well done, because our denominator tells us the number of equal parts our whole has been divided into. So let's do. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we've just shared our 10 pencils, our 10, equally into 5 equal parts, which is the same as doing 10 divided by 5, because we are sharing our 10 into 5 equal parts, equals something. If we look at our bar model, we can see that each part has 2 pencils in this case. Now, how many parts do we need to count? 1, because we want to find 1/5 of 10. So if I look at my bar model, I know that my answer is going to be 2. 1/5 of 10 is 2. Or I could also do 10 divided by 5. 10, my whole, divided by 5, my denominator, 5 equal parts, equals 2. Let's solve the same problem by just using our division knowledge. So far we've used pencils and we use a bar model. Now let's use just our division knowledge, because this is what you'll have to do in your workbook today. How can we find 1/5 of 10? if you look at the yellow square, you can see that in order to find the part, you need to divide the whole by the denominator, the same as we did before when we were using this our bar model. So, in order to find one part out of my whole, I need to divide my whole by the denominator. So all I need to do is this. My whole divided by the numerator. And I will write it like this. 10 divided by 5 equals, what is 10 divided by 5? Well done, 2. 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So I can say that 1/5 of 10 is the same as 2. Now, what do we need to do if we want to find 3/5? So we want to find 3/5 of 10. What do we need to do? Think about what we did yesterday. That's it. And you can have a look at the yellow square at the top to see what is the next step. We need to first find what 1/5 is. And that's what we just done earlier on. We know that in order to find 1/5, so this is step 1, in order to find one part out of 5, we need to do our whole, 10, divided into how many equal parts? 5 over the denominator. 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So we know what one part is. How can we find out what 3 parts are? You could do 2 plus 2 plus 2 if you want to, 2 3 times, but we can do 3/5. 3 parts is the same as 1 part. So this is 1 part. 1 part is 2. It's the same as 1 part, 2, times, how many parts do we need to find out? 3. So 2 times 3 equals, 2 times 3 is, that's it, 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we can say that 3/5 of 10 is the same as 6. Before you solve one problem by yourself, let's go over what we've just done. Our problem says, how can we find 3/5 of 10? So first of all, if we look at step 1, we need to find what one part is. We need to find one part. So we need to find 1/5. In order to find 1/5, it says divide the whole by the denominator. So we need to divide 10 divided by 5. And then we will know what 1/5 is. So we will write 1/5 of 10 is the same as 10 divided by 5, which is 2. So 1/5 of 10 is 2. Now, do we want to find out what 1/5 is? No. We really want to know what 3/5 are. And in order to do so, yes, we need to find out what 1/5 is, but we have not finished yet. We need to move into step 2. We need to find x parts. In this case, if we look at the numerator of our fraction, we need to find 3/5. So here, we need to know what 3 parts out of 5 are. We need to know what 3/5 are. If we look at step 2, it says multiply the one part, what we've just done here, multiply the one part by the numerator. So the numerator here in our question is 3. So what would we need to do? Well done, we need to do 2 times 3, because 2 is one part and we want to know what are 3 parts. So we could say that 3/5 of 10 is the same as 2, one part, times 3, the parts that we need to know, and equals 6. So 3/5 of 10 is 6. Now is your turn to find the fraction of a number. You need to find 5/6 of 18. Please draw a bar model first, and then we will use it to check our answers. Remember, look at the yellow square to see all the different steps that you must follow in order to find 5/6 of 18. Pause the video and complete this task. Okay, let's check. So, here is my bar model, and I know that I have how many items, how many things? 18. And I need to share 18 into how many equal parts? 6. So this is what I have done. My bar model is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 equal parts, like my denominator says, and I divided my 18 into 6 equal parts. Have I divided 18 equally? Yes, each part has how many? Each part has 3. Now, if we want to find what 5/6 are, how many parts should we count? That's it, we should count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these parts all together. Okay? If you are able to do it with the bar model and you don't really understand how to use the yellow square method, that's fine, but please give it a go. Now we're going to try and solve it by looking at the yellow square and following the steps. So first we need to find what one part is. And we know that we have to divide our whole 18 by our denominator. It says here our fraction is 5/6. So one part will be 1/6. Now, 18 divided by 6 will tell us what 1/6 is. So 1/6 of 18 is the same as 18 divided by 6, which is the same as 3. Well done, 3. Now, we know what one part is. One part, 1/6, is the same as 3. How many parts do we want to know? Look at the numerator. We want to know what 5 parts are. So we want to know 5/6. 5/6 of what? 5/6 of 18. 5/6 of 15 is the same as, what do we need to do in step 2? Multiply the one part by the numerator. So we know that one part is 3. So we will do 3 times 5 equals, what does it equal? 15. So we can say that because 3 times 5, one part times as many parts as we want to know equals 15, we could say that 3/5 is the same as 15. And we can check it here. If we count 5 parts, so 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15, 5 parts out of 6, it equals the same. Well done, great job, year 3. This is the end of today's lesson, and we would like you to complete pages 118 and 119. We are not doing the full page. Well, you don't have to, you can do it if you want to, but we are just going to do activity 1, A and B, and activity 2, A, B, and C. In activity 1, you have to use a bar model to share your whole equally. If you can, please use what you've learned in step 1 to write a number sentence underneath. So you will have to do your whole divided the denominator equals the one part. Okay, so you have to do in the bar model, and if possible, write down step 1. In activity number 2, you have to do the same, but in this case, there is no bar model. You have to use again step number 1 to fill in these boxes. 1/4 of 32 is the same as our whole divided by the denominator, which equals one part. Now, we want to challenge you by finding any other fractions of our whole. You don't have this written in your book, but you will have to write it next to the A, B, and C. For A, we would like you to find as well 3/4. 3/4, 3/4 of 32. So you will need to do your part. Here you can see the yellow line. Your part times the numerator equals how many parts? 3/4. Okay, so you're finding 3/4 here. In B, I would like you to find 5/9 of 81. You can write it in the boxes, you can write it like this, it doesn't really matter. And for C, we would like you to do 2/3 of 33. Okay, so remember, for activity 1, you need to use your bar model. If you can, write also the number sentence of step 1. In activity 2, there is no bar model, you have to write the number sentence for step 1, and please, can you do step 2 as well? Okay, give it a go, and please upload today's word pages to your portfolios. Now we would like you to play the loop cards game again, but this time we are not looking at unit fractions. We want to find out what is 2, 3, 4, 5 parts of our whole. Okay, so remember, you need to share the cards equally in between all the players. It is better if there are more than 2 players, but if it's just 2, that's fine, don't worry. And you will have to say whoever starts. I have 40, who has 3/5 of 100. Remember, you first need to find out what one part is. So you will have to do 100 divided by 5, and then you need to know 3 parts. So your result, your answer, you need to multiply it by 3. Whoever has the next card will say, I have 60, who has 3/4, and so on. Okay, so you can cut them out or you can write them if you like. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, year 3. I know I already said have a great weekend, but here I am again. Just wanted to say that you're doing amazingly well at home. We're really proud of you, and we really miss you. Tomorrow you will be going over how to solve column multiplication, and next week will be our last week on fractions. So you will do 1 more week on fractions with Miss Downing. Have an amazing weekend. You deserve it. Take a big rest, and we'll see you soon. Bye.